My husband started an affair with our son's girlfriend. I'm filing for divorce. I'll use fake names here. I'm 41, a stay-at-home mum. My husband, let's call him Paul, is 48 and works in finance. We've been married for almost 20 years. We have 2 kids, our son Eric, 18 senior year, and our daughter Mary, 15. My children are the light of my life. Over the years, my marriage with Paul became dull for many reasons. His work schedule, my low self-esteem, age, a whole mix of things. Eric has a girlfriend, Amy. She's 18 as well. They've been together since 9th grade. Eric adores her first love. I always considered Amy part of our family. That's why this whole situation is heartbreaking. One day I accidentally saw Paul's phone screen and noticed a message from Amy. It said, "I miss you, and I can't wait to suck you off again." I froze. I couldn't believe what I saw. I tried to convince myself I misunderstood, but no. Over the next few days, I looked for proof, and I found an entire folder with explicit content, along with saved Instagram photos of Amy. I checked Paul's phone and found even more messages, disgusting things about me, comparisons, insults, fat and old, and Amy laughing at it. Once, I found a pair of thong panties in our bedroom, definitely not mine. I made myself believe they belonged to Mary, which didn't make any sense. Paul didn't just cheat on me, he betrayed his own son. It's terrifying to even describe the shock, horror, despair. I knew I had to do something, but I was so scared. How do you tell your son something like this? I wouldn't wish this on anyone. The more I thought about it, the more obvious it became. Paul's strange behaviour began around the time Amy turned 18. Did he seriously wait for her to become legal? Update 1. My brother gave me contact information for a very tough lawyer. I saved screenshots of all the messages between Paul and Amy. Only 3 months could be recovered, mostly flirting and sexual talk. Call logs showed they talked for hours. Paul was using dating apps with filters set to ages 18-22. I copied all files from his computer and found chats, OnlyFans payments, toys, costumes, etc. I pulled the kids from school and told them everything. Mary was the angriest. I met with Amy's mother. She gave me access to Amy's messages again, only 3 months worth, as if everything older was deleted. Amy claimed they were in love, that no one understands their bond. Paul denied everything over Zoom, then got angry and demanded to know where we were. My lawyer is filing for temporary sole custody of Mary and a restraining order. We reported everything to the appropriate authorities. I decided to be ruthless in this divorce. Paul turned me into a shell of who I used to be. This time it stops. Update 2. People kept telling me I made all this up. Strangely, that almost comforts me. The story really does sound unreal. We're living with my brother. His house has good security. Paul calls every day, but I ignore him. All communication goes through the lawyer. Eric and I took rapid STD tests. All clear so far. Eric is seeing a therapist. He's trying to stay strong, but he's in shock. Mary is struggling too. Her friend said Paul always looked at them weirdly, sat in certain ways to look at them, asked if they were popular at school. They didn't think much of it then, but now, it's disturbing. About Amy. She's a victim too. I tried to help her through her mum, but Amy is convinced they're in love. Her mum shows her Paul's messages with other girls, but she refuses to believe it. Says I photoshopped everything. She insists Paul is perfect, and I'm just jealous. Update 3. The divorce is underway. CPS issued a restraining order. We have a mountain of evidence against Paul, and it will seriously impact his life. The kids continue therapy. Mary swings between anger and sadness. Eric tries to keep distance from everything, but I know he's hurting. Amy is declining mentally. She started seeing Paul again. She insists she's making her own choices. Her mum is afraid to kick her out because she'll go straight to Paul. Amy disappears for hours at a time. I can't help anymore, but I know things are about to change. Major legal consequences are coming. Update. For 1 year later, a year has passed. The kids are still in therapy. The emotional consequences are huge. Paul and Amy kept seeing each other for several more months. I stayed in touch with her mum, hoping Amy might reveal details, especially if it began before she turned 18. But she said nothing. She was blinded. 2 weeks before the divorce was finalized, Paul disappeared. He withdrew all his money and flew to Cambodia. He didn't show up in court. Never filed anything. The divorce was finalized without him. I got full custody. He's violating child support orders. But he's gone. Cambodia doesn't extradite. No one knows where he's living or what he's doing. Amy collapsed emotionally after he disappeared. She doesn't live at home. She stays with different friends. Eric is in college now, trying to move on. Mary sometimes remembers little disturbing things from the past. I contacted the FBI and provided everything. But if no provable crime was committed in the US, there's little they can do. I don't believe he left just because of child support. I think he's a predator, and I believe he's a criminal. Thank you all for your support and concern.